I know I'm not supposed to talk with my mouth full. Sorry. But all of a sudden, my day started getting away from me, and I realized I hadn't eaten. And so I was getting all set up with my, hold on. Are y'all hearing me through these? Hold on. So I was getting all set up with my, I'm so discombobulated. I didn't eat. I was getting set up with my, the live and everything, and ended up not eating. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you send me a thumbs up or something? Because I'm trying to see if you can hear me through these, or are you just hearing me? Okay. Solo Will said, I hear you. And somebody else said loud and clear. Fine, sis. Thank you. Hi, Cory. I see you, brother. I'll be right there with you. So anyway, I got to eat an orange or something. Y'all know I try to start the refresh chats, with some something healthy. So here's my little grape that I'm shaking. Because I had the shakes. Trying to set up my little setup. Don't you love this painting? Alexa's got this for me. I love it. So hi, family. So today we are talking about gratitude. Of course, because it's, November. Even though the whole idea of what a lot of us grew up thinking about as, hi, Dante. Hi, baby. I see you, brother. Dante was a part of the production team on my audiobook for my autobiography. But anyway, so we're talking about gratitude and things. And of course, November used to traditionally be like Thanksgiving. And, for the most part, it still is. And yet, because Thanksgiving has a lot of negative connotations to it and negative facts about how it all happened, it started to shift a bit. And so the idea of just, taking our gratitude to another level is kind of where I was coming from this month through Refresh, my lifestyle brand. If you are not already following Refresh, please do. Refresh by KF. That's my lifestyle brand. You can do like double dutch right now. You can jump out, follow Refresh, and jump back in. Refresh by KF. Yeah, I said double dutch. But that's our lifestyle brand. What I did this month with my team was to do kind of a concept of merci, which is thank you in French, and mercy, and find the connectivity. How do you feel when you give and receive mercy? Most times it's gratitude. How do you feel when you don't give it or receive it? And then I also wanted to talk about gratitude, and I'm going to just say it how I wrote it down. Stale thanks. Stale thanks. For some of you who are in the faith community and we talk about praise and gratitude and offering up songs of praise, you ever feel like your praise is stale? You ever feel like your praise is like you saying, thank you. It's almost like the same prayers over and over. You're saying thank you for my life, thank you for my children, my health, my strength, my this. And some things sound a little by rote, just kind of autopilot praise. Ooh. And so I wanted to get just kind of a new life within my gratitude. And so Cory Muscara, who has become just invaluable to me on a number of levels. He's such a good person and phenomenal in terms of his work as a mindfulness coach and meditation coach, an expert. And so someone said, I just did a grounding in gratitude challenge. All right. Good for you. Hey, Ray 304. That's awesome. So I'm going to ask Cory to join us. Cory has been a friend and contributor. I've started to call him our, what did I call him in the promo today? I call him our chief resident mindfulness contributor. So can't wait to see him. Come on in the building, Cory. Hi.
Hi, Kim. Good to
How are
see
you?
you.
Good to see you, my friend. How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah,
Excellent,
I'm
excellent, excellent.
in California at the moment.
Me too.
Yeah, you're in LA, right? I'm a little
Mm-hmm.
further north of you.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah. Hi.
So everybody, please welcome Cory Muscara into the building. Again, Cory is our dear friend. Let me turn you up a little bit from me here. He is our
Yeah.
dear friend. Um, who is just a phenomenal mindfulness coach and meditation coach and expert. I am I follow him on social media. Uh, I definitely have been to one of his virtual retreats, and he has
Mhm.
another one coming up, which I'll tell you more about. And so, welcome back.
Thanks,
Welcome back.
Kim.
And
Really
everybody's
good to see
hi.
you.
It's great to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
So, gratitude. Cory has got a few different meditations and practices about meditation. I posted one on my story this morning that I did this morning.
Cool.
Someone said, I absolutely loved his book. Oh, I know.
Thank you.
Somebody said, was he on the Facts of Life? No, he was not. But yes, Cory has a phenomenal book called Stop Missing Your Life. I
Mhm.
have a hard copy. I have the audio book, the
Yeah.
digital book. And so I wanted to kind of start off talking about what I was saying earlier, stale
Mm.
thanks.
Yeah.
And I preface it that way, and you know how this mind works. But I preface it that way because if you, like I said, for me, having been, a part of the faith community since
Mhm.
I was 14, but just when you grow up and you're just a good person, or you understand, well, say thank you. You're taught that as a kid if you got home training.
Mhm.
Um, so what happens when you just feel like you're saying you're on autopilot?
Mhm.
And like it's not that you've become ungrateful, it just doesn't seem to have like mm.
Yeah, right, right. It's such a big, juicy topic. I love the topic of gratitude for so many reasons. I mean, first and foremost, like if we think of the present moment as the meal that's in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
gratitude is like our taste buds. It's the thing that really allows us to appreciate it
Mm.
and get the nuance of it, and it's the what gives us access to the flavor of life. Um,
Wow, what gives us access to the flavor of life? You just dropping gems already. Come on, man, you ain't been in the building 10 minutes.
yeah, let me go. I got to tweet that real fast.
Go ahead, I'll wait for you.
Yeah, so it's something um it's interesting for me because it doesn't I don't perceive myself as someone there are a lot certain things that come more easily to me. Like I get into flow states a lot where I just like get really absorbed in something. But gratitude is one of those things where it just hasn't been something that's come naturally to me. Often in times of like great pain or suffering or things taking a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, I find I have more access to gratitude because I'm more sensitized to that contrast between suffering and goodness. And
Mm-hmm.
I think for a lot of us, as we're going throughout the motions of the day, um, gratitude can interestingly fall into that bucket of like another should, like something that I'm supposed to do.
Another
Um,
should, like I
yeah,
should. Okay.
a
Mm-hmm.
should.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we get a little disconnected from the juice of gratitude because it's not a cognitive experience. I mean, we can make it one and we can use like the cognitive exploration of like, what am I grateful for to access something deeper. But real gratitude is, it's vulnerable. It's full bodied. It's connected to like the moment to moment fragility of life, that we're just like, we get to drop in, and open our hearts to like, wow, the preciousness of what's here. And that could be, tasting a good meal, and it's just like, wow, how amazing that I'm in this life, and I have access to taste, and just like the comfort of this moment.
Mm-hmm.
um but it's also just, the vulnerability within love, where you're just like fully surrendered and open, and
Mm-hmm.
your defenses are down, and out of that emerges this organic appreciation that's not forced. You didn't have to write down your list of like, what am I grateful for and why am I grateful for it. and
Right.
and all of that's wonderful. Like, I've done that. It's a really good way to get in the habit of gratitude and start to access that.
Yeah.
But I think, when we're talking about like stale things, and we're just going through, okay, what am I grateful for? Well, I had salmon for dinner, and like I had that conversation, that was good. And it just becomes like this cognitive thing. I have to do that and then go on, and like all these little
Mm-hmm.
ingredients of my happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, if we really just take a moment to drop in, get out of our head, get more into our body,
Mm.
and just be like, yeah, what is going on? Like, feel into the bigness of your life in that moment, where you've been, what you've been going through, just like everything that comes with being a human.
Mm-hmm.
And then take a moment to feel yourself like sitting in bed and just under the covers, and the stillness that's there, or if your partner's next to you, or
Yeah.
just the safety of the walls around you.
Mm-hmm.
Then like something organically arises, that we're
Mm-hmm.
filled with gratitude, rather than forcing it, or trying to have to recite something. So
Yeah.
someone said, like, if the attention, yeah, it's like the quality of how we direct our attention
Mm-hmm.
to our life.
How we pay attention. That was a great point that
Mm,
someone brought up, like you said. But yeah, what you were just saying, Cory, is just being able to drop in, get out of your head. And
mm,
I'm always, even when I'm working as an actor, and my sister friend Rhonda, who directed the Christmas movie I did last year, You Light Up My Christmas,
mm.
and she said, one of the things she always has to talk to me about is just get out of my head,
Yeah,
just come out of here,
yeah,
because it becomes a lot more organic,
yeah.
and then you're not thinking, you're able to just enjoy and really be in the moments.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned pay it forward,
Mm.
and guys are really loving all the feedback, paying it forward. How for you does that resonate with and connect with gratitude?
Yeah. Well, I think if gratitude could speak, it would probably say something like, pay it forward. It's that
Mm.
that feeling of fullness
Mm-hmm.
that causes us to want to share, and not in a
Mm-hmm.
contrived way, not because we fear what would happen if we didn't do this, or if we weren't a good person. But
Ah,
it's just like, when the cup is full, as cliche as it is, it
yeah.
starts to pour over.
Yes.
And so if we conceptualize like paying it forward as just this organic offering of ourselves to another person, the
Mm-hmm.
goodness that we've received in whatever capacity, or however complex it was, and the
Mm-hmm.
way we received it, it
Yeah.
just becomes a natural expression of our being in the world, when
Mm-hmm.
we're full with that
Mm.
gratitude. So I
Mm.
think they're directly connected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, guys. So if you're just joining us, this is Cory Muscara in the building. He is
Hey,
a
everyone.
mindfulness coach. He is a wonderful meditation coach. He's got this fantastic book, Stop Missing Your Life. He has been with me in these chats. This is your third or fourth one, actually.
Yeah.
Um, because he's just so full of great information and being able to, for me, what one of the things I really love about working with Cory and listening to him, is that, like, I'm 51, and the idea of like just some new shit just popped off. Like, oh my God, I hadn't even thought of that. Oh my gosh. Oh shit, did you hear that? Wait a minute, rewind that. What kind of lens how did he come up with that? So that's why I'm always saying, Cory, can you come back on and share? When we talk about gratitude, and mercy, and like we were saying, the connection. Somebody said 51. Yes, thank you. But the idea of merci, again, thank you in French, and mercy,
Yeah.
and getting to a place where mercy is more, it flows in even if it's in the name of gratitude. What do you think of something like that?
I'm not sure yet. I'd like to hear more for you how you feel into that. So when you think of, and when you even came up with this, because I love that play on words, like where do you feel that relationship for you between those two?
I think when it hit me in my spirit, it was about how people can withhold mercy and yet desperately want it for themselves.
Yeah.
And being able to, if you give mercy, whether that's in the form of forgiveness, whether that's in the form of love, whether that's in the form of kindness, thoughtfulness, if you're merciful, because some folks are not merciful, like with their little comments on social media. but that sentiment of a type of mercy. I don't know. I felt like there was something. And then when I even looked it up, I realized that it actually is derived from the French merci.
No way.
Yeah. And
Cool.
being able to understand that I think one of the other definitions within all of that was favor.
Yeah.
And whether it's doing someone a favor or you have favor with someone.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, when that happens, you have that sense of gratitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. And I love just hearing how you felt through it and continue to feel through it. For me, my mind quickly goes to, why wouldn't we give mercy? Where do we get blocked when that isn't an organic expression? And I think it's often when we're in this protective mode, where we're in a fear-based mode, or a defending ourselves, or what you did to me, or how dare you. It's this smaller sense of self. Like I have to look out for me, and you did this, and it's a clear othering, like I'm good, you're bad, protecting myself. And a lot can go wrong when we're stuck in that space, because it causes us to it creates a graspiness. Like we're just constantly looking for other people to be a certain way in order to make us feel okay. And when there is this organic sense of gratitude and fulfillment, and my mind's going to the word of like okayness, like I'm okay. There's more space for us to forgive other people, to hold space for other people's stuff that they've done wrong, or ways that they've even crossed us, because we're holding that space within ourselves. I'm kind of thinking through this as we're going, but there's something about like when we are grateful, when we are full, for all aspects of ourselves, like inherent to that is a sense of forgiveness and holding the fullness of who we are, the good, the bad, all of our strengths, all of our weaknesses, what we love about ourselves, what we hate about ourselves. And so when we do that for ourselves, in my experience, the natural expression is to be able to do that
Mm-hmm.
with others as well, because we're not projecting our own stuff onto other people. And we've just
Yeah.
seen like the journey of like, it's really hard to love yourself,
Yeah.
like through and through. It's hard to make space for all the different dimensions of yourself. We like the parts that we know get praise and
Mm-hmm.
that people like, but the parts that of us that have been criticized over the years that we don't like, or it's like, oh, why did I get that?
Right.
That we have a harder time holding with
Yeah.
love. And so
Yeah.
like as we do that journey for ourselves and appreciate the fullness of who we are, like
Mm-hmm.
we're able to look at someone else and see what they're struggling with, or maybe even ways that they've crossed us, and we know, it's not, they might have done something to me, but it's not that. It's an impersonal thing. They're going through their own stuff. They're on their own
Yeah.
journey. It's coming from their own pain. And since we've
Mm-hmm.
seen that within ourselves and we've
Mm-hmm.
walked that journey within ourselves, our heart is just more open to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And mercy becomes the natural expression.
Mm.
Is my
Ooh, I
sense.
told y'all. I told y'all. Cory is the truth, baby. Someone asked the question, how do you get there?
Hmm.
Hi, Nicole Berman, wonderful author.
Let's see. Um,
Oh, and let me just say, if while you're thinking about it. So, guys, again, if you're just now joining in, jumping into our live, this is Cory Muscara, amazing mindfulness coach and meditation coach. He's an author, a speaker. He hosts phenomenal meditation challenges and virtual retreats. He's got another one coming up first week of December. I'm already registered.
yes.
You may remember I did his virtual retreat a couple of months ago. I posted about it, and it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. So anyway, welcome. Someone said he's good. Exactly. I listen. I only bring y'all the best. Okay, I don't mess around. So we got to just bring the truth each and every time. So we were talking about, someone had a question of how do you get to some of these spaces that you're talking about.
Yeah. When it comes to offering mercy to others, or like how we relate to other people,
Mm-hmm.
there's different practices we can do that are other focused, like practicing bringing a sense of compassion to others and love to others. But and it's important, but in my experience, it's just like all of it is starting here. How we relate to ourselves, like on
Mm-hmm.
the deepest levels, like
Mm-hmm.
organically shifts how we relate to others, how we hold space for others.
Mm-hmm.
Our capacity to hold space for another person's pain, suffering, misgivings is directly related to our capacity to hold space for our own pain, our own struggles, and our own
Mm-hmm.
misgivings. And that's just like a law of life. I haven't seen any exception to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to just like this deeper work of whatever the question might be, of like, how do I have more mercy, or how do I have more gratitude or appreciation? It's really like opening up to and touching the most tender parts of life, the parts that we're most defended against, the
Mm-hmm.
parts that we most fear, the
Mm-hmm.
parts of ourselves that we haven't made space for in our own heart.
Yeah.
And so it's a journey of like dropping in and not chasing something in the future, but like meeting the fullness of who you are right now. So what the heck does that look like? Because that could just still seem like spiritual, philosophical speak.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, if we were to keep it really simple, it sort of looks like somebody waking up in the morning and just like feeling maybe this a sense of hatred toward themselves, or a part of themselves. Let's keep it a little bit more simple, just like I don't want to wake up in the morning, like I don't want to wake up right now. And maybe like the other thought comes in, it's like, come on, what's wrong with you? Like life is good, you should be happy right now, you should get out of bed. and we just create this internal tension. I'm curious if people like put a hand up if you relate to this, like something happens and then we create more struggle, more stress by
Right.
going, what's wrong with me? Why am I having this experience?
Yeah.
And so a way to avoid getting caught in that downward spiral
Mm.
is just when you feel like something that feels negative or painful or uncomfortable, you just drop this simple phrase. It says, you're welcome here too. You're welcome here too.
You're
And what,
welcome here too.
yeah, and what this is like, it's like having a conversation with a part of yourself. And we could
Mm.
think of ourselves as just having many different parts, right? There's the
Hmm.
parts that we like, the parts that are joyful, happy, content, creative,
Right,
and then the
right.
other parts that are like lazy and frustrated
Hmm.
and hurt and in pain.
Hmm.
And part of moving toward the journey of wholeness, of groundedness, of full-bodied gratitude is being able to see the place for all these different parts and not go like, oh, I hate this part. You don't get to be here, and just try and have the good ones, because
Yes.
it's not someone that you can just shut out. These are parts of you, and they have a good purpose at different points in time.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean that we're going to indulge in them, and the part of us that doesn't want to wake up in the morning, it's just like that's going to override us. We first just meet it with a smile. It's like,
Mm.
okay, you're welcome here too.
Hmm.
It's like that voice that is tired, that's frustrated. And so instead of overriding it, we take a breath. We go, you're welcome here too. It's okay to feel this way
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm.
And then you can, ask those parts of like, yeah, like we're tired, but how do we want to navigate this moment given everything we have to do?
Yeah.
And this just creates a little bit more of a collaborative relationship with your humanness rather than just trying to override everything, willpower, hate yourself into
Mhm.
productivity or performance.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh, I love that.
yeah.
And too, as somebody, again, person of faith and all of that, sometimes we get so conditioned, whether it's scripture or we're taught from a pulpit of sorts, that sentiment of, let go and let God, let go and
Hmm.
let God, let go
Yeah.
and let God. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. And those are wonderful things to say, as I sometimes call it Christianese.
Mm.
But there's sometimes when it's like, but what does that look like? How do I practically do that?
Yeah.
How do I make sure that I'm true to who I am? I'm true to who I am as a child of God, as a son or daughter of God. But I'm laying here in the bed going, ugh.
Yeah.
And here's something that I do. And like Cory says, wave your hand if this is you.
Mm.
Some things that I do is I start to beat myself up. And yes, Cory, I have got every text when you're like, please stop doing that. But I have a tendency to beat myself up when I feel like I'm not doing or saying what I feel like I'm supposed to do or say in that moment. Like, I know I should feel this way. I know I should wake up going, morning by morning, new mercies I see.
Mm.
Thank you, God, for today. And, all of these things. But sometimes, like I said, number one, it feels like I've then gone on autopilot. Or
Mm.
sometimes I feel like, even with those acknowledgments, that's that, that's it. I feel like I'm just acknowledging these things
Mm-hmm.
instead of really exploring and tapping into that thankfulness
Yeah.
and a deeper sense of gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is where this all just becomes like really big work, because gratitude is, if we step out of our heads as it's just like this thing that we're supposed to recite and say why we're thankful for something, and instead just recognize it as like the most organic expression of us connected to the truth of what it means to be human, which is like holding the inherent gift of it and
Yeah.
the inherent suffering. It's just inextricable. But the more we connect to the suffering, the more our heart is tenderized and open to all of the goodness that's around us. Like a piece
Mhm.
of paper, you can't have the front without the back. And people have experienced this, even if this sounds like a hard thing to understand. anyone that's been through something difficult knows, like, on the other side, neutral moments where nothing is happening, where you're just like still,
Mm-hmm.
becomes so much more nourishing. There's so
Mm-hmm.
much goodness. You're able to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Love, a conversation, just an act of kindness. It's just like, wow, this is like, you're able to receive it so much more fully.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll just say, like, for anyone that feels like it's become a little stale, um, or you're just going through the motions with it, it
Yeah.
might mean that you have to, there might be some parts within you, some aspects of your life that you've been skillfully avoiding, dancing around, not going near. And
You
often
don't
what
know
we're,
my life, Cory.
yeah, often, like, what we most need to look at
Yeah.
are the aspects of our life that are most hard to look at, that we're most scared of, that we've
Mm-hmm.
skillfully built walls around.
Mm-hmm.
But once we go into that, and once we, like, surrender it and we hold it with compassion and love and care,
Mm-hmm.
um, we no longer have to walk around with this armor. And
Yeah.
without that armor, our heart organically expands and opens to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the goodness of life.
Mm.
And so, that's the fancy way of talking about all of this, like, to
Yeah.
just give people, like, a really something simple. If you want to, like, just feel a little bit more gratitude in an embodied way, when you wake up in the morning, put one hand on your heart, put one hand on your belly, feel your heart beating, feel your body breathing, connect to your body, get out of your head, just like this thing that you're in, even if it's giving you some pain, even if it's caused some struggle in your life, feel it working for you. It still loves you. There's more right with you than wrong with you. Take 3 deep breaths like that,
Mm-hmm.
ground yourself, and then go into the rest of the day and just see if you can hold that goodness a little bit longer.
Thank you, brother. I love that. I made that little scrunchy face because Cory knows that every time he says, put one hand on your belly, I'm like, no. Then I come out of my meditative space and I'm like, oh, I didn't do any crunches. I didn't do any sit-ups. Oh, I don't like how my belly feels right now. And it's so distracting.
You're the best.
So, so is there another place?
Yeah.
Just put both hands
Maybe,
over your
maybe
heart.
your right shoulder. Yeah, like this.
That way you can stay focused.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to finish up with Cory Muscara, wonderful, wonderful meditation expert and mindfulness coach. So Cory's got this phenomenal app called mindfulness.com. That's the
Yeah.
name of the app,
Yeah.
mindfulness.com. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, I have it. I have an annual subscription. And so it's so good, because he's got different topics. He and his partners that are on there. Is her name pronounced Melly?
Melly, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's wonderful. She's got this fabulous accent.
Yeah.
And so she's great as well. And they've got just wonderful meditations, talks, sleep meditations to help. Again, if you guys have trouble sleeping, staying asleep, falling asleep, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful app for all of that. And just starting your day, getting through your day, finishing your day, just everything. So mindfulness.com is Cory's app. So finishing up with Cory, even though I hate when we have to end. But again, also follow Cory at Cory Muscara.
Yeah, just
I
my
was
name.
like, is there something before, like the real? No. So at Cory Muscara is Cory's handle across all the platforms. Again, people are saying how encouraging this has been for them. I'm so glad. And so, guys, just finishing up here, Cory. This morning, as I put in the story, I listened to one of Cory's meditations that he has on a yoga app that I follow and that I use called Asana or Asana.
I think Asana. Yeah, Asana Rebel.
Asana Rebel.
Yeah.
And so somebody said, be my mental coach. You don't want that. I appreciate that, but child. I was listening to the practice this morning, and it was saying that you can energize your mind through gratitude.
Mm.
And it was just really a great way to start my day, especially knowing we were going to chat today.
Yeah.
But in that particular meditation, Cory, you mentioned sowing new seeds. And he gives this wonderful visualization in terms of this meadow, you know, this open field, this meadow, and being there. See, I listen to you.
Yeah, you
I
rock. That's great.
and sowing seeds. Can you kind of share that part of that part of the practice with the people, please?
Can you tell me more about what I said about the meadow? Because I
Wow,
recorded that
seriously?
many years ago. Maybe you could lead the meditation.
Close your eyes. Put one hand over your heart and
Yeah.
one hand on your ear, not your belly, unless you find with your belly right now. But no, you were saying how if you visualize this meadow, okay, and you're in this open space where it's just this vast space for you, and you've made space for yourself.
Yeah.
And then the idea of having seeds to plant.
Yes.
And that they are seeds of things that you are grateful for. And what I love too is that Cory also will say things like, even if you feel like you don't have anything to be thankful for, he says, number one, I challenge you to find one thing, something that you can be thankful for or excited about. Something that you, or something that you excited in the future. But planting these seeds for gratitude, and then how we water them.
Yeah.
Any of that ringing the bell now, Cory?
Yeah, there we go. Now
Okay,
that you
good.
explained it all.
I'm gonna come and work for Cory when I'm on hiatus from my TV shows and my movies.
So what I would say, two things around that. First, like that meadow analogy of just like creating space for whatever's here already, just whatever is within you, creating space around it. Carl Rogers, the psychologist, said it wasn't until I accepted myself as I was that I was actually able to make change. And so there's something powerful to just like meeting ourselves where we're at, accepting like for whatever's here, just like this is the truth of what's here. But once we do that, there's less like fighting ourselves and running away from ourselves. We settle in, and then we could see more like the vastness of what's around us. And also like, oh yeah, this open meadow, like there's so much more life and space and things I can still do now that I'm not just in this constant frenzy running from myself. And so the meadow is just like, yeah, you just like in that space, like within you, what are those seeds? Like what do you want to plant in your own mind, in your own heart? And I think starting with the seed is good, because it doesn't have to be a full-blown tree. It doesn't have to be a tomato plant that's bearing all this fruit. It could just be like the seed of the seed of gratitude. And you start with just the most simple thing, like we said, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. If you're able to do that, if you're listening, it means your heart is beating, right?
Yes.
And you're breathing in this moment. And so we just start with that. And maybe it's just like the slightest opening to an appreciation of that. But we nurture that. We give it water. We give it some sunlight.
Yes.
We appreciate that goodness. And then that starts to grow. And those seeds like within us become our expression of who we are, and the space within us that we get to live. And we can truly grow that garden or that meadow.
There it is. There it is. He also said, sow new seeds. And that was what triggered the whole idea of new seeds juxtaposed against stale things.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because
love that.
sometimes it's like finding something new to be excited about, or something new to be thankful for, you know, and especially in all of this, you know, finding something new to give thanks for, you know, biblically speaking, new praise, you know, that sort of thing. I just want to go back to something that Cory said for all of you who are parents or around children, young children, guardians, uncles, aunts, grandparents, whatever. When you were talking about not running from certain things, but being able to let them exist and kind of move through them.
Mm.
As a parent, I have shared a lot of some of the things that Cory has, either taught me or that I've experienced in a retreat or reading or whatever. As a parent, I've shared certain things with the kids on their level, though.
Mm.
And so when your kids are talking about their feelings, validate them first. They're important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their feelings are so important.
Mm.
They're what they feel, and not just for kids too, but especially right now in all of this. Their feelings are important, and teaching them how to honor their feelings in each moment to be able to move healthily to the next moment and get through them and past them.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important as a parent. And so I just wanted to tell you thank you, because I've experienced that even recently. Guys, little Quincy was really missing me. I'm in LA. I was filming. The kids and Chris are in Georgia. And he got on FaceTime with me and just cried and cried. And he says, I miss you. I miss you so much. And I said, Quincy, I am so thankful that you shared your feelings with me. And I'm proud of you that you didn't, try to hide it, or that you didn't say, oh, well, I don't want to bother her right now, or, hey, you're a boy, don't cry, or big boys don't cry, all of those things. No, you get rid of all of that. And whatever you're feeling, we work through that to get to the other side.
Beautiful. That's amazing. And Kim, that's a sign of, and as we were saying, just the more you're able to do that for yourself, the more that becomes your organic expression for others, whether it's with a friend, a family member, or your child. And I think so much of the amazing journey you've been on is holding that space within yourself and honoring the merit of all of those different aspects of you. And that allows you to show up, without force with your child, and just say, this is okay. And just to hold space for them. It's an amazing gift to offer them, and to offer everyone that is the huge fan of Kim Fields. You're really shining a light. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And conversely, for if you're around teenagers and older kids, I don't know if I sent you this text, Cory, but Sebastian had shared a few weeks ago, he was feeling some anxiety. And, Sebastian's 13 and very wise, mature 13. And same kind of thing, I said, okay, gotcha. We can either talk about what you're feeling anxious about, or just acknowledging I'm just kind of anxious and don't really have a sense of, I can't pinpoint it right now. And I was able to share with him one of the practices on anxiety that you have on your mindfulness app,
Wow.
and it really just kind of, it started to help, because there isn't one fix for everything, guys, and it's a lifestyle that we are talking about. So the idea of meditation and mindfulness, breathing, all of these things. Yes, of course, if this is part of, who you are in terms of prayer, all of that, but being able to have that sense of those moments when you can center. Cory once taught, well, I'm gonna say Cory taught me, even though he was talking to a lot of people, I'm gonna say he taught me, but Cory taught me changing what if to what is.
Yeah.
Because it really helps, again, perspective. So thank you, my friend. I'm so
Thanks,
glad
Kim.
you.
You're the best. So great seeing you.
Thank you. You too. So again, Cory Muscara, everybody, again, follow him across all of the platforms. He does wonderful daily meditations and quotes and just different things that really are just fantastic. He's also, again, got his book called Stop Missing Your Life. It's phenomenal. It really is such it's a gift, truly. And then he's got, again, the app mindfulness.com. And
Mhm.
then he's got the virtual retreat. I'm very excited about it. I was on the last virtual retreat and it was wonderful.
Oh.
And so this upcoming virtual retreat is December 4th through the 6th.
Mhm.
And the theme is Awakening Joy,
Mhm.
cultivating joy. I think it's perfect to be able to tap into that at the end of the year, and
Mm.
God in heaven knows at the end of this year. And so, Vidal, mwah. And so being able to awakening joy, December 4th through the 6th. And you can see how to register for it through Refresh by KF, of course, at Cory Muscara.
Mm.
And basically, I'll be posting about it like I did, kind of ramping up to from to the last retreat that he did.
Mm.
But Cory, you were such a gift. Someone mentioned earlier, Cory is such a light, and
Mm.
you really are. You really, really are. And I'm just so grateful that you answered my DM when I was like, "Hello, I'm a fan. I think you're awesome."
That
And
was the
thus
best.
began our friendship and partnership, and me
Yeah.
as a client, but also as somebody who is just I'm grateful that our paths crossed when they did. And when you start looking for different ways to level up your life game, level up your, how do you spell Corey's last name? Muscara.
Yes. It's like the makeup with a U.
Yes, that's what he told me when I first asked him, how do I pronounce your name? He said it's like mascara, but with a U, so
Yeah.
Muscara. Um, but he's such a gift. He's such a gift. I am honored to call him a friend and brother because of his light, and light attracts light. And
Mm.
so I'm pretty sure that we have created some really, really great light. I'm thrilled that all of you guys are receiving,
Mm.
and that Corey's light is, attaching to your own light,
Mm.
everybody, and being able to shine a little bit brighter. And as we go into this week of gratitude and thankfulness, really explore how you can develop that sense of new seeds of gratitude, where you plant them, what you're planting, how you have that sense of finding the ways to get rid of any stale praise or thanksgiving, and just adding new life, adding just a fresh energy, energize your gratitude, and you find so much joy with that. So thank you, my
Mm.
friend. Thank you, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everyone.
I'm so glad to
Definitely.
see you. I'll see you soon.
Likewise.
And
Talk to you
until
soon.
next time,
Take care.
take care. Bye, honey.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Cory Muscara in the building. I hope that you enjoyed that. I know I did. I'm going to be watching this. Yes, we save all of these live conversations, and they are then posted on my page for a while, and then refresh our YouTube channel, which is of course Refresh by KF, my lifestyle brand. Our YouTube channel has all of these wonderful conversations, and so how do you feel about all this? Are you grateful for this chat? I really felt like I don't just just come on here to just say some shit. I just don't. If I don't have something to say, y'all don't see me. I don't say nothing. And so somebody said, "Are you really 51?" Uh-huh. Um, but I really do think about and pray about and listen to the universe, listen to, well, what do I feel like people need and want in this moment from me, because we can need and want a lot from everybody else in different ways. And so I'm really grateful that you guys are feeling it, that you are receiving this, as I've been calling it, the refresh-olution. And the refresh-olution will be socialized. This refresh-olution will be a lifestyle revolution on social media where we can refresh ourselves and refresh others. Get some new tools. Some of us been living for a minute. Amen and thank God. Some of y'all are still new to life. Regardless of where you are, you want to, I shouldn't say you want to, don't let me speak for you. Regardless of where you are chronologically, I hope that this has been helpful in terms of leveling up your life game, leveling up your spirit game, your mental game, being able to take care of yourself so that you can take care of yourself and others. And so thank you to my team at Refresh by KF. Again, if you don't follow us, please do. I'm so proud of the content that we put together every month for you. Again, this has been the November Refresh theme has been mercy and merci. Thank you in French. So merci beaucoup to all of you for hanging with me. All right. And have a great Saturday and a great rest of your weekend. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, baby, we got the Christmas collection of coffee that's dropping tomorrow. Oh my. Woo. You not ready. You not ready. It's going to be fantastic. So we've got that dropping, Signature Blends by KF. And so we want to make sure that you are leveling up your gift game. And we have got you covered with coffees and teas and cake and biscotti and cigars. And oh, baby, this collection right here. Woo, talk about trying to say merci and show some gratitude. All right, you guys, have a great